Congratulations, Naomi. Apparently, you are unable to win a slam without some drama. I mean, there was a drama with Serena in the US Open. There was a drama today, you having all those match points and not winning the second set. How do you react to all this? Are you surprised?
I mean, I don't think it's drama. I had the match points on her serve. So, she's supposed to hold her serve, and she's one of the best players in the world, so I didn't think it was drama. We just played a third set. If you consider that drama, then...
You weren't worried. I mean, after you lost the second set, you were okay. I mean, everybody was thinking, oh, maybe she will think of it, it will be more difficult.
I mean, I did think of it when I was playing the second set, but when the third set, it's a fresh start, so...
Yeah, just if you could, it was such a warm atmosphere in there tonight for both of you. And just if you could, I'm coming from New York, talk a little bit about the difference between how it felt in there tonight compared to how it felt in Flushing.
Yeah, I mean... You're probably asking this question because you already know. In New York, most of the crowd was for Serena, and here it felt like they were just, it was split a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, when I was playing her and I heard that the crowd was, for both of us, I was very happy, but at the same time, I was just trying to focus on playing the match.
Naomi, how difficult was it to refocus after the disappointment of the second set, and how long did it take you to refocus?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really take that long. I didn't have a choice on how long the break was. I don't know, I just felt like I didn't want to have any regrets. I think that if I didn't regroup after the second set, then I would have looked back on this match and probably cried or something, so...
Naomi, congratulations. From the outside, for us, the moment of Lena giving you the trophy seemed really special. From Asia's first Grand Slam champion to Asia's first world number one. I'm just wondering for you, if you can reflect on that moment, what it means to you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't expect to see her there. So at first I was very shocked, and then I wanted to cry a little bit, but I didn't want to cry on this, podium, so yeah, I was really touched, and I just felt really honored I don't know, that she was giving me this trophy.
Naomi, you said that winning the US Open was maybe bittersweet and not the happiest memory, so how does it feel now to, have your shining moment?
I mean, now I'm just so tired. I don't know how anyone is awake right now. Maybe the next day I'll think about it more, but for me, I don't know, I still feel very shocked. I don't, I felt like the match wasn't completely done, but it was done, and it's one of those moments where you're fighting so hard, and when it's finally over, you're still in this state of, competitiveness, so...
Naomi, were you actually getting emotional when you were walking off after the second set going toward the bathroom?
Did you not see my tears?
Trying to verify. I didn't want to, I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, you wanted to give me, a little, hope.
How did you recover from that? Were you thinking of, that could have been Brisbane all over again, but you somehow righted yourself. How did you do that?
Yeah, I just thought to myself that this is my second time playing a final. I can't really act entitled, to be playing against one of the best players in the world and to lose a set and suddenly think that I'm so much better than her that isn't a possibility. Yeah, I wanted to enjoy my time here. Last year I lost in the 4th round, and now this year I was in the final, so I wanted to be happy about that, and yeah, just basically have no regrets about today.
Naomi, you said on court that you looked at your notes before the thing, but then you couldn't really remember. Is there anything you've remembered now that you would like to have said? And also, could you just confirm, do you live in Boca Raton now or on Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, I mean, I forgot to smile. I was told to smile and I didn't. I was panicking. Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about that for the rest of today. And yeah, it's confidential where I live.
You, a year ago here, you were ranked about 70th and hadn't been past the 4th round at a Grand Slam tournament. 2 major titles in a row, now at number 1. Does it feel to you as though this has happened very, very quickly?
I mean, to me it doesn't. I guess looking from the outside, from your guys' view, it does, but for me, every practice and every match that I've played, it feels like the year is short and long at the same time, but I'm aware of all the work that I put in, and I know all the sacrifices that every player does to stay at this level. So, I mean, in my opinion, it didn't feel fast. It felt kind of long.
Naomi, given the way that the US Open finished and the scenes afterward, how satisfying is it that you could pick up this trophy? Admittedly, forget a few things, but actually have celebrate this trophy, unlike last September. And secondly, public speaking, is that something you're going to get better at, do you think, in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't celebrated yet. I mean, if you guys want to celebrate with me. And public speaking. Sorry, I don't know, like, I feel like in a way public speaking is some sort of talent. Like, I know some people train to be able to be good at it, but then I just don't feel like it lacks, like, the genuine, like, there's something that feels off. So of course I would love to be better at talking, but in the first place, I don't even talk normally. Like, in my day-to-day, I might speak like 10 sentences, so honestly, I wouldn't really be that thrilled if I had to practice talking.
Naomi, you said that you would reveal the song that was playing in your ears for 7 matches after this tournament. So can you just go ahead and reveal that, and why is that the song that you picked?
Oh, it's called Win. It's by J-Rock. And yeah, I was listening to that because my dad was obnoxiously blasting it during the US Open. So I just thought maybe I should keep carrying on the trend, and it worked, so.
Naomi, what does it mean to be the #1 player in the world?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like it hasn't really sunk in. Maybe in the next tournament I play, if I see the #1 next to my name, I'll feel something. But for now, I'm more happy that I won this trophy. So.
Naomi, for this second Grand Slam final of your career, what things did you talk about with Sasha beforehand?
I didn't talk to him.
Is that different?
I don't know. I just... Yeah, no, like, we haven't really been talking, to be honest, like, before any of my matches here. He would tell me, like, one thing, and then I would be like, okay, and that was it. Oh, sorry.
So you're 21, and most 21-year-olds, probably around this time, or a lot of them are, going back to their like second semester of college. They can't, rent a car without having to pay a surcharge. because they're not 25 yet. The frontal cortex of your brain hasn't even finished growing yet.
You're using a lot of big words here. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Do you You've done something that I think a lot of people would think is pretty grown up because they're back to back, and usually that's very difficult to pull off for someone your age. Do you feel like a grown up?
Sometimes I do. But I'm not sure if it's feeling grown up or being able to disassociate my feelings. I don't know if that makes sense. Because sometimes, how some people get worked up about things? And that's a very human thing to do. Sometimes I don't know, I feel like I don't want to waste my energy doing stuff like that. I think about this on the court too. In the third set of my match today, I literally just tried to turn off all my feelings. So that's why I wasn't yelling as much in the third set. But I'm not sure if that makes me grown up. I don't think so.
Hi. During the ceremony, you mentioned how special it was to play Petra, given where she comes from and her status. What about her game in terms of tennis? What did you feel?
Everyone that sort of listens or watches the tennis world, you always hear about how when she is on, she's pretty much unbeatable. And the scoreline seemed to prove that point too. So, yeah, I was very nervous coming into my match today because I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if she was just going to blast winners, and there's nothing that I could have done about it. I'm not sure if she played well today. I would have to ask either you or her, and it was very educational in a way, because for me it's very hard to step onto a court against someone that I've never played, especially at such a high stage. So.
Naomi, today's obviously so much was at stake, such a big stage, so many back and forth, and then you just said in the third set you sort of turned your mind off. What was that like? Was there a sense of quiet, or can you express what that was like in the third set inside your own thoughts?
I just felt kind of hollow, like I was a robot, sort of, and I was just executing my orders. I don't know, I just did what I've been practicing my whole life in a way, and I didn't waste any energy reacting too much. But then when it got towards the end, then I started realizing how big the situation was. So then I think I started yelling, "Come on," again.
And last one, then
What was your state of mind after winning the first set, as you won your 59 games in that situation?
I was thinking that, honestly, I felt like I got really lucky in the tiebreaker, because I don't think I won any points on her serve before that. I was just thinking if I had to play another tiebreaker against her, my mind was just going into the future, which probably wasn't good. So.
Naomi, there's been so many examples of players who have won their first major title, and then when they go to play second major, they fall early. It's clearly something that's a really hard thing to do, to back up a win, and you're the first player to back up your first major win since Capriati almost 20 years ago. I'm just wondering, when there was so much more spotlight and maybe expectation on you this tournament, how you were able to handle it and do what a lot of other players haven't been able to do recently.
For me, I don't know, I just focus on tennis. For me, when I play my match, everything else is completely not in my mind anymore. I just think about like for me, Grand Slams is something that you dream about playing as a kid, and I don't ever want to waste this opportunity. So those are the biggest motivating factors for me. And yeah, I mean, like regarding media and stuff, honestly, you've been really nice to me. Like, I feel like when I was like 40 or 70, I got way more media than I should have been getting. So I was kind of used to it.
Last question in English.
You've done so many incredible things lately, and I'm just curious if you surprised yourself ever.
I mean, yes and no, because like I had dreams that I would win this tournament, you know? But every time I have a dream and somehow I accomplish it, I still feel like it's a very strange moment. Like I feel like I'm living right now, but it's not necessarily real. If that makes sense.
Okay, we'll switch to Japanese. First question. Yeah, one.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとう。
プロになるときに小坂さんがグランドスラムの優勝と世界ナンバーワンになることを目標に掲げてて、その2つを今日同時に目標を達成したんですけど、その小坂さんはその目標を達成するとかその夢を叶える力がこう世界一強い一番叶える力があるんでしょうか。
Yeah, I mean, of course, as a kid, well, not that I'm a kid, but like when you're practicing really hard practices, of course you want to dream about what you're practicing for, and I think for everyone it's to win Grand Slams and to be number one. So yeah, of course those were two very big motivating factors. And after I won US Open, for me, I always thought that I wouldn't care about rankings if I was just able to get into the tournament without having to play qualies. And then I realized you can get buys in certain tournaments if you're seeded, so that was my next goal. And yeah, I mean, people were talking about being number one if I win this tournament, and I was able to accomplish that, but the ranking was never my real goal. It was just to win this tournament. So.
この大会の前に目標をストレスを感じないで楽しむっていう目標をしてたと思いますけど、それができたかどうかと、試合の中でやっぱりそうストレスを感じることもあると思うけれど、大坂さんにとってテニスはどんなものですか？
Yeah, I mean, I do think I did have a lot of stress, but only in certain moments, and then it went away. It's usually during all the 3-set matches I played this time. But I feel like I was able to handle it well, and sort of relax my mind so I wouldn't overthink. And yeah, I forgot the rest of your question. Sorry.
テニス、大坂さんにとってテニスがどういうものか、その試合の中で怒ったり悲しかったり楽しかったりいろんな。全部。
Yeah. I mean, I think as a whole, this tournament was very eye-opening for me. I had a lot of matches that were very tough, and I was behind in some of them, and I think it showed me that I could win matches from behind, and just on willpower alone, I think I was able to save a lot of break points. So.
おめでとうございます。サードセットで 4-2 の時にブレイク、3回かな、ブレイクポイントがあって、でそれを逃したで、ちょっとセカンドセットと同じような展開になってきたんですけれど、その時にこう嫌な気持ちになったりとか、セカンドセットのことを思い出したりとかはしませんでしたか？
Yeah, I mean, for me, I honestly felt okay about losing that game, because I sort of realized that she's supposed to win her service game anyways, you know? And I already broke her once, and I was feeling pretty good about my serve, so Yeah, I was sad that I had 3 break points and I couldn't convert any of them, but at the same time, she played really amazing tennis during those 3 points. So it wasn't like I made 3 unforced errors. Like, I think she hit 2 winners and 1 good serve or something, so there was nothing I could be upset about.
今メンタル的に何歳になれましたかっていうのと2大会優勝してみて自分が世界一になったっていうのをどういうふうにしたら実感する時が来ると思いますか？
Yeah, mental age. We grow up a year every day, so 5 today. Yeah. もう一回ごめん。
ナンバーワンになったって、
どういう気持ち？
どういう時に私ナンバーワンだって思うと思いますか？
I mean, it still hasn't sunk in yet. Like, I just finished playing my match, and I don't know. Like, for me, maybe if I see my sister, you know, I can be like, guess who's the #1 tennis player? Me, you know. Maybe then.
US オープンと今回の優勝どっちがタフでした？でそれはなぜ？
I think US Open because that was the first time I've ever gotten that far, and I kind of lacked experience on that. I didn't know what my capabilities were, but I think this time around I was more aware of what I could possibly do. So.
さっきランキングが私のゴールではないっていうことを言ってましたけれども、こう今自分で設定しているゴールというのはどういうものですかっていうことと、それに照らして今どのぐらいまで来られていますか？
Yeah, I mean, for me, my goals are always winning tournaments. So I would assume my next goal is to win the next tournament I play, and I'm gonna have to play Indian Wells again, and of course I'd love to win that again, and then play Miami and hopefully win that. I think people that can win Indian Wells and Miami back to back it's usually the best players in the world. So that would be my next goal, and yeah, I feel like I'm going with the flow. That's sort of been my motto my whole life. So thank you.